Hello, I am Tiffany. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. And I'm so happy that you're joining me today to celebrate 1,000 subs. I just want you to know how thankful I am for your support. It really does mean a lot to me. So, with all that being said, let's get right into it. So first, I'm going to discuss how I came to post the kind of videos that I make, because I know a lot of people struggle with this. The next thing I'm going to talk about is camera presence. And then last, I'm going to talk about how much money I've made from YouTube on my YouTube channel, even though I'm not monetized. So let's get into it. So I first started posting on YouTube in November of 2023. That makes about, for me to hit 1,000 subscribers, that was about a year and a half exactly. And you might look at my channel and be like, Tiffany, I see videos from 6 years ago or whatever. And yes, I did use YouTube for a long time just as a platform where I would upload my creative projects to and just share the link to Facebook or share the link to Instagram. But then in November of 2023, I was like, you know what? Let me just try this out. Let me take this seriously and let me try this out. What actually inspired me to try it out was Dan Koe, lo and behold, the person that's probably inspired everybody. And so I started posting a lot of content that was similar to his, like self-help content. The first video that I posted was I left my 9-to-5 and I built a business. And everything that I posted thereafter until about May or June of 2024 was very self-help related, hustle related to about like leaving 9-to-5, about entrepreneurship, freelancing, whatever. So now we are in June of 2024, and that is when I had a massive epiphany that changed everything. That's when I realized self-help related content was just not the way to go for me. And as you can see, I'm in a different scenery and it's a different day, because when I was recording this bit originally, I didn't nail the point that I wanted to give you. It's a really important point, so I want to make sure that I explain it correctly. So in June of 2024, I went to the Aspire Tour conference, which is a business-related conference, and a ton of influential people give speeches there. Like Shaquille O'Neal was there, David Goggins was there. It was pretty cool. There's speeches, there's talks, there's networking, all that typical business conference stuff. And during one of the talks, the guy on stage was giving the same spiel that the Alex Hormozis and the Dan Koes of the world give, and we've all heard it. Educate your audience, provide value to your audience, give them the information for free, and then sell them the implementation. And it was the stuff I'd heard millions of times, and it was the stuff that I was doing. I was sitting in the audience and I just looked around me for a second. It was kind of surreal. And I realized, I was like, everyone and their mother is doing the same formula as me. Because when we watch that YouTube video online and we see 100,000 people watch this video, it's just a number on a screen. We don't really think about it. We just think that that YouTuber is just talking to us. But when you're in the same room as all of those people taking and implementing that same advice, it really sinks in as to how fierce competition is. And that is the moment I realized I had to be authentic. And so many of us, including myself in the past, are not being authentic. We think that just because we're inspired by Dan Koe and Alex Hormozi, because they're very passionate about what they do, and so of course they're gonna inspire us. But we think that that means that we can essentially just take that same message and attempt to inspire people in the same way. Wrong. And then I started thinking, I was like, who are the YouTubers that I'm diehard fans of? There's quite a few, but I'm just gonna go over a couple. But I started thinking about the YouTubers that I'm diehard fans of, and I was like, what makes them so special? What makes them so popular? What makes them have such large followings of millions of people? Like, for example, Kendall Rae, she's a true crime YouTuber. Cody Koe, he's a comedian. Alex Hormozi, he's a business YouTuber. Why do they have such big platforms? And then that's when it hit me. That's when I also realized, I was like, they are incredibly, obsessively observant about something. Alex Hormozi, he's obviously so observant about business, so obsessed with it, you can tell. And he is able to break down complex business ideas into simple ways that are easy to digest and easy to implement. Kendall Rae. I haven't really seen anyone else do it quite like Kendall Rae. She's kind of a beast, but she's a true crime YouTuber, like I said. She's so observant and self-aware about every single aspect of the video that she posts. I feel like a lot of true crime YouTubers don't take into account that, like, you know, you're kind of making entertainment off of somebody else's death and getting profit off of it. But she's really aware of that, and most of her profit goes goes to charities. Sometimes she even has the family of the victims on her episodes. She is so passionate about what she does. She isn't just looking to just entertain you and just get some views. Like, she really has a mission. And Cody Ko, the reason why I think he is so popular is because he's incredibly observant about finding the humor and the irony in situations and is able to make other people laugh because of that. So with all of that being said, you can probably take a look at your favorite YouTubers too. They are incredibly observant about something. And that's why they can speak with so much passion and conviction that bleeds through the screen. And just because those are their passions and interests doesn't mean they're ours. So it was in that moment in the crowd, I realized I had lost myself. And I was being a copycat. Yes, I'm a business owner, but is that my true passion that I can speak about or create about and inspire people with? Not really. I was stepping away from my creative side, which is my true obsession, and it's something I am so observant about, and which is why I'm able to create creative projects that resonate with people. No one ever reached out to me like, oh, your business video really inspired me. But I've had a ton of people directly message me about my poetry videos like, hey, I really love that. Or, hey, that made me cry. And so that's when I realized I had to go all in on my passion and my obsession. So with that being said, if you're struggling with figuring out what to post, you need to take a look at what genuinely fascinates you. And it's funny, when I switched from a business-based channel to a creative-based channel, the ideas just flowed. I'll insert a screenshot of all of the freaking ideas that I have. I have more ideas than time, and I'm sure a lot of creatives deal with that. But when I was doing my business content, the ideas were so hard to think of. Like, I had to sit and think, and it wasn't fun. And I kind of hated it, but I wasn't listening to that voice in my head. Instead, I was like pushing through. Not to say that every part of the process should be glamorous, but if there's a lot of resistance, it's probably, it might be good to listen to that. And I wasn't listening to that. And once I switched to having my channel be more geared towards creativity, things just started to flow better. And I think that was definitely a sign from the universe. Now I'm going to dive into point number 2, camera presence. I am still working on this. I'm still not perfect, but I'm going to play a clip of one of the first YouTube videos that I made, and it is terrible. Not really paying any attention to my own self-care and just really deeply sad. And what really was the catalyst for my change was tiny, tiny, small habits. I'm talking microscopic. First of all, why am I this close? No, I'm not even that close. Why am I this close to the camera? And why did nobody tell me? Like, it's creepy. This is so creepy. I'm like, and not only that, but I'm like, being comfortable in front of the camera, it takes a lot of time because this is a very unnatural situation. Also, it's gonna feel like you're talking to a void, like you're talking to no one. But then as you build an audience and you realize that there is someone behind the screen, then it gets a little bit easier. But also, I just wanna pay ode. I don't even know if that's a thing. I wanna give diligence. I wanna give a shout out, let's just put it that way, to how difficult it is to talk in front of the camera. It's a very underrated skill. And I don't think I really developed being able to talk in front of the camera for about a year. And what really, really helped, actually, surprisingly, believe it or not, was interviewing people on camera. And I don't know exactly why, but let me give you my theory. Because this is a very unnatural situation. Me talking to nobody. I mean, maybe that's natural for some people. But when you have someone else there, obviously that's a natural situation, talking to somebody. And so it brings a natural situation to an unnatural setting. And it, for some reason, practicing that, talking to other people in front of the camera, made it easier for me to talk alone in front of the camera. If you don't feel good at it after 3 times, that's normal. 4 times, that's normal. 3 months, also normal. 6 months, still normal. It takes a long freaking time. It's an underrated skill. All right, number 3. So lastly, and I know everyone is so curious about the money because everyone wants to make money. There's actually two ways that I have made money so far on YouTube. So the first is I've actually had one person that I've never met in real life that has been keeping up with my videos and stuff like that reach out to me to edit a video for them. That's pretty cool. That was a gig from YouTube. The second way is so if you didn't know, I'm a full-time videographer and editor, and actually a lot of my clients follow my YouTube channel. And I've actually had some clients reach out to me, be like, hey, I saw your video. By the way, I need a video, or something like that. If you are a videographer and an editor, like myself, you don't just have to be posting that kind of content that's like, this is how video helps your business. This is how social media helps your business. Like, you don't just have to do that. Sometimes just demonstrating what you can do and what you're capable of and showing that in front of your client over and over and over again, that's enough for them to keep you in mind and then reach out to you when they need a video. You know what I mean? And so just staying connected with my clients through YouTube has actually helped me generate business. So I know that was a lot, but that was so much fun. And again, thank you so much for just subscribing to this channel and supporting this channel. And I'm sending a big virtual hug. If you haven't already subscribed, please do consider subscribing and checking out some creative projects that I have on this channel. And I'm so excited for just the future.